Shalom is all I wish to be in the nations. In the name of God the Father, the Son Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit, I greet you all. Well, appreciation be to the one who has enabled me and gave me grace to appear today once again that we share about faith. Today we are going to share about faith with reference from the book of Hebrews especially. We are not going to go through the whole chapter of 11, but we will pick out some verses that would help us, and we share about faith. Starting with the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 1, the first verse only, which says that now faith is the assurance of things hoped for the conviction of things not seen. In other words, we first hope for something and then we become sure of it. When it comes to pass, that's when we say that God has been faithful in this thing that I hoped for. In other words, when it has not yet come to pass, it is not faith. Which means that for it to happen or to come to pass, we must be sure of what we've hoped for. And again, we see in the sixth verse, which says that and without faith it is impossible to please him, for anyone who draws near to God must believe that he rewards and he exists to those who seek him. In other words, in order for God to do for you something, you must have that hope in him and be sure that he has the ability, of which he has it. But then what stops us from getting what we've asked him is our doubt. As a little doubt like this can stop him to reward. It's like you're not sure of whom God is, whereby God is almighty. In him everything is possible, but because of your doubt, then the reward that you asked him has failed because of doubt. That means that a small spark of faith is enough to blaze very big things from God. A little spark like this of faith is enough. Just like a little spark of fire is the one that sets a bush onto flame of fire. Someone starts with a small spark of fire and then it brings out that big flame onto a bush. It's the same way. A small spark of faith, I repeat again, is enough to blaze or to bring these big things that you ask from God. When we go forward in the 11th verse, still from the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 11, which says that by faith Sarah herself convinced because she received power by faith. It is by faith that Sarah got this power to convince, despite that she was old and also had passed the time of getting pregnant. In that way, it is also a good example to our life, or in our daily lives. We humans, we find out that some things had happened in our life some time back, or were hit by certain situations. Then you bring in this in your mind that because this happened, God has no way for me. God has a way for you. This is also faith, by the way, whereby you put it in yourself that because of this, God has no way for me to change it. God has a way to change it. Just forget about what happened in your life past, because with him that one doesn't matter. He can change it, so he will never put you on shame. Keep this faith in him. And in the same way, you find out that people really have faith, but they apply faith on small things and fail to apply faith on big things. In other words, how can we say? Do you know that there are those who cannot ride a bicycle? Do you know that it is by faith that they don't ride a bicycle? And in the same way, there are those ones also. I don't know really how I can express it, but it is by faith that someone fails to ride a bicycle. And you may find out that someone can drive in a risky way but fears to ride a bicycle because has that faith uh, of big things but has no faith of small things. In the same way, this is something I would like to emphasize on, that faith faith in God is not only for small things, is also for great and big things. So stop sitting there in a way that you think that this is impossible for God. With him everything is possible, only that you have come to him in a way of doubting that he cannot do all of that. In the same way, when we share from the book of Psalms, yeah, Psalms chapter 27, verse starting from 13 and 14, whereby David said that I would have lost heart unless I believed that I would see the goodness of God in the land of the living. Uh, what does it mean? It means that if David, he did not still have faith and he brought in a small doubt like this, he would have not got the reward or the goodness he's talking about that God gave to him in this land of the living. So, all in all, there is nothing impossible for God. It's only your faith that you have or your doubt that you have that stops you from getting these rewards from God. Remember, everything with God is possible. Things that are impossible with man are possible with God. Shalom be to the nations.